Was the Matrix the NBA's most unappreciated superstar? To earn a spot in the NBA Hall of Fame, you need to be a dominant player. The top scorers get automatic bids. Ben Wallace and Dennis Rodman earned their place in the Hall by being elite defenders and rebounders for championship-winning teams. Today, we'll delve into a player that right now is on the outside looking in. That player is Shawn Marion. Marion claims that he should be a shoo-in. He told reporter Chris Haynes, "What I've done on this court in the last 16 years at my position, I don't think nobody has ever done it the way I've done it." Is he right? Was he truly as good as he claims? Or does Marion overrate himself? Let's get into the facts. Shawn Marion was drafted by the Phoenix Suns with the 9th overall pick in 1999.
You know, Phoenix is a diehard basketball city.
He quickly proved to be an athletic freak of nature. He was 6'7". His arms were so long they could almost touch the floor when he stood upright. He ran the floor like a leopard and had a ridiculous second hop under the basket like he was bouncing off a trampoline. Maybe the craziest thing about him was his shot. He just flicked the ball short-armed like a Tyrannosaurus Rex so quickly that by the time you blinked, the ball was already in the hoop. TNT analyst Kenny Smith nicknamed him the Matrix during his first preseason in the NBA. The name made perfect sense for such a unique phenom and stuck throughout Marion's entire NBA career. After earning a spot on the All-Rookie team, Marion unleashed a taste of his capabilities on the NBA. His next 4 years with the Suns gave him a great opportunity to play a star role. Though offense wasn't his forte, Marion still proved to be the most threatening offensive player on his team. This stretch of seasons before he truly hit his prime would turn out to be his best offensive opportunity he received in his career.
Great. The fans there are truly special, man. It just is what it is. I grew there. I grew there as a player and as a person there in Phoenix, and it was a big part of me. It is a big part of me.
During these years, he averaged 19.2 points per game, 9.9 rebounds per game, 2.3 assists per game, 2 steals per game, 1.2 blocks per game, 1.8 turnovers, 46% field goal percentage, 36% from 3, 84% from the line. These numbers made Matrix a very unique superstar before he turned 25 years old. During this 4-year stretch, he ranked 7th in the NBA in win shares. The only players ranked higher than him were Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and Tracy McGrady. All Hall of Famers. He was in truly elite company. The reason Marion wasn't getting the same recognition as his peers was because scoring wasn't his greatest strength. It was his versatility and defensive aptitude that made him so effective. A good comparison is actually to look at Scottie Pippen and Kawhi Leonard. When all 3 players entered the league, they were regarded as defense-first players and athletic specimens. Each of them made their first All-Star game at age 24. Let's compare their stats during their age 24 season. You could make a strong argument that Matrix was the most valuable of the 3 at this stage of their careers. In 2004, Steve Nash signed as a free agent, and it completely changed Marion's role. It was the beginning of the 7 seconds or less era in Phoenix. Nash immediately became one of the most ball-dominant players in the entire league. Amare Stoudemire was assigned the role of secondary scoring option because he was strictly an interior presence, and Marion had the versatility to play the wing. Not only was Marion a far superior three-point shooter, he also had the agility to make nifty backdoor cuts and managed to put up numbers without any plays designed to get him shots. Marion was one of the very few players, if not the only player ever, that had the selflessness and talent to play that role. He guarded every position and scored tons of points in the fast break. The Phoenix Suns took the next step as a team that season. They finished with the best record in the NBA and ended up losing in the conference finals.
Watching us, we're going to set the foundation for a long time now.
Marion maintained his offensive production with 2 less field goal attempts per game. He also set new career highs in rebounds and blocks. He just did what he needed to do to give his team the best chance to win games. The following season, Amare Stoudemire suffered a season-ending injury. The Suns didn't skip a beat, all thanks to Marion. He put up the best year of his career, 21.8 points per game, 11.8 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 2 steals, 1.7 blocks, 1.5 turnovers, 525 from the field, 331 from 3, 801 free throw percentage. Marion finished 10th in MVP votes that season, but probably should have finished higher considering the totality of his production. The Suns made it to the conference finals again before getting booted. Marion was continuing to get underappreciated for the superstar that he was. He had just capped off a 5-year stretch with averages over 20 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block per game. To date, Shawn Marion is the only person to put averages up in this spread of statistical categories besides Hakeem Olajuwon. Marion also did it while shooting over 80% from the line and over 35% from 3. Like he said, nobody has ever done it the way Matrix did it.
Phoenix Suns were probably the hottest team in the league at one point. So everybody was coming to see us, and when I say the games they were just so excited about how he was out there doing it.
Though the Suns were a truly revolutionary basketball team, Marion's tenure ended without ever winning a championship. Shortly after, he made his way onto the Dallas Mavericks, where he further adapted his game to suit the slower pace of a Dirk Nowitzki-led offense. Once again, he was in an offense that never designed plays to get him shots, so he had to create for himself with solid off-ball play. At this point in his career, he had peaked athletically and had to rely more on his savviness to dominate defensively, which he did. The Mavericks went on to win the 2011 NBA championship over the Miami Heat in a finals where, once again, Marion was overlooked. Nowitzki and Kidd were being discussed as the 2 all-time great players that finally put a cap on their Hall of Fame careers. Matrix, however, after defending LeBron James for the majority of the finals, was grouped in with Dallas' solid role players. In reality, Shawn Marion executed possibly the most daunting task in basketball. In fact, Marion held LeBron to 17.8 points per game in that series. When Andre Iguodala and Kawhi Leonard played the exact same role defensively and allowed LeBron James to score way more points, they won Finals MVP. Marion was never even mentioned as a possibility. Marion never received the awards he deserved. The man who was putting up defensive metrics unseen before at the small forward position for the league's best regular season team never once got voted onto an all-defensive team. Marion should have been a regular all-defensive team player, if not a strong defensive player of the year candidate. Writers David Nelson and Damian Walker did a deep research dive on the 2006-2007 season and determined that Shawn Marion was actually deserving of the Defensive Player of the Year award that season. They described Marion as such: long, strong, and athletic. Marion can keep up with the fastest point guards and is disciplined enough to defend the best low-post scorers. His ability to play the passing lanes and pick up steals or deflections is even more valuable because of his ability to run the floor or make the outlet pass. Combine this with the fact that he holds his own against any big man in the league when it comes to blocks and defensive rebounds, and you can understand why Shawn Marion gets our nod for Defensive Player of the Year. Traditionally, Marion has been viewed as a player without a position, but smart coaches and GMs can tell you that this is not a bad thing. And with the NBA game opening up more each season, players with Marion's defensive skill set will be more coveted than ever.
I mean, I would love to go in that situation. I don't want to coach, but man, I would go in that situation if I'm able to get 3 MVP type players. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is truly awesome.
By my count, Marion made a very strong case to be an All-Star 6 times and an All-Defensive Player about 10 times. Accolades that, if added to his resume, would have made him a no-doubter for the Hall of Fame. Marion was also a winner. A lot of players tend to falter when it matters most, but Matrix was built for the playoffs. As mentioned earlier, he is one of the few wings to successfully defend Kobe Bryant and LeBron James in a series where his team beat them. Check out these playoff stats that compare him with Hall of Fame forwards from his era. Marion was right on par with these Hall of Famers. Though he is 4th on the list in total playoff wins, he's second only to Chris Bosh in playoff winning percentage. What is different about Marion compared to the other players on the list is his ability to guard any position, including perimeter players and point guards.
He came into a place that's ready to go and ready to take off to the Rockets.
Interestingly, it seems that the crucial role Marion played that is so vital to championship teams gets overlooked for some reason by the Hall of Fame.
You know, I was able to reach the ultimate goal, and a great group of guys, and it speaks for itself, man. I think the city and everybody knows and felt that vibe and felt what it felt like for us, and they was with us for the whole ride, and it was awesome.
Marion's career numbers, when you consider his position, role, and versatility, are really unparalleled by any player in NBA history. The best comparison would probably be Scottie Pippen, though they had major differences to their games. Pippen was a better playmaker, but Shawn Marion was better off-ball as a rebounder, shot blocker, and shooter. This isn't at all meant to be a slight on Scottie Pippen, who played his role better than anyone else in the history of basketball. It does make me wonder what would Shawn Marion's legacy look like if he had the opportunity to play with Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman. Taking all the facts into consideration, it is clear that Shawn Marion should be a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame. The numbers speak for themselves. Matrix was a one-of-a-kind talent. Who knows what his career would have looked like if he had the opportunity to be the focal point of an offense during the prime years of his career. Maybe we'd be talking about him the way that we discuss Kawhi Leonard. All we know is that Shawn Marion is likely the most underappreciated superstar in modern history. Somebody, please get the Matrix the flowers he deserves.